The Real War Gamer here. Battles of the Peninsular War, 1808-1814. That's the series. This is Volume 1, the Battle of Sagunto. I am going through kind of my own version of programmed instruction. So I'm starting at the very start of the turn sequence of play, which begins with a French player turn, which starts with an artillery phase. So I have pulled out a French artillery unit here. I've placed it in line formation. I've pulled out an allied or enemy infantry unit here, put them here in line formation, and I'm going to continue looking at artillery fire. Oh yeah, I was talking about artillery ammunition. Or I was looking at artillery ammunition. I lost my first video, so first video's gone. Technical difficulty, so I'll pick up, and I'm picking up right where I left off. So every artillery unit at the start of a game, all batteries have an ammunition marker with 8 rounds of ammunition. 8 rounds of ammunition. Every time a firing battery inflicts 1 or more casualties, 1 round is deducted from its stock of ammunition, unless firing at adjacent enemies. Place appropriate ammunition markers under the battery counter to record the expenditure of ammunition. Artillery out of ammunition may not fire during the rest of the game, and its combat value is quartered. Okay. I guess I'll talk about round shot, because I think this will be round shot against the target there. All batteries may fire round shot at any hex within their field of fire. So the target is within the field of fire of the French artillery there. Firing is resolved as usual, but there will be a ricochet effect. Okay, we'll get into ricochet later. I guess I can pick up back again with the fire. So fire combat, there's musketry fire and artillery fire. Unlimited artillery may perform artillery fire. That's now. Fire is resolved against a target hex. Determining first the fire's fire factor and then the fire defense of the units occupying the target hex. Note that firing does not affect a single unit. It may affect all units occupying a target hex, with some exceptions there. Fire factor. This is an estimation of the firepower of combat units. The fire factor is obtained by trying to figure out if artillery is different than musketry fire and how it's different. So far, they're the same. The fire factor is obtained by multiplying the maximum number of companies allowed to fire from the hex. That is, let's get to that. Fire limit, and I don't think that's summarized on a table. No, I don't see that. Huh, that would have been nice, but no more than 4 companies may ever fire from the same hex. This is 1 company, by the way. It's got strength of 1 and a movement allowance of 5. So companies wise, or strength point wise, it's 1. The maximum, okay, so maximum of 4 companies may ever fire from the same hex. Now I'm trying to figure out if there's anything different for artillery. There's the maximum number of companies a unit may employ to fire may be reduced due to its current formation. There's Spanish infantry, Imperial infantry, British and Portuguese units in column formation, units in square formation. Artillery stacked with infantry in a square may use 1 company to fire at, through any of the frontal hexes of the square. Oh, okay. I guess that's not really this case. Okay, so I guess when infantry and unlimited are stacked, no. All right. So I don't see any issue there. So fire factor, multiplying the maximum number of companies allowed to fire times the multiplier printed on the back of the firing counter. 6, okay. So that's the times 6 there. So this is a strength of 6. Okay. Fire defense. This is an estimation of the vulnerability of the unit under fire, or the fire defense table. Okay. Might as well show this, in part because there are only a few tables altogether. So there's the fire defense table. So we have infantry in the open, in line formation. Let's see what's relevant here. Open ground, woods town. We're in open ground. This is infantry in line, so it's 9. 2 asterisk. Fire defense 6 if there are more than 6 companies in the hex. There's not. There's 4. Okay. When a unit fires, it divides the fire factor by the firing defense. So that's 6. That is 6 divided by 9. 0.6, obviously. Okay, divide the fire factor by the firing defense. The resulting quotient is doubled. So 0.66666 times 2, it's doubled. 1.3, and uses a fire modifier. You're rounding down, so it's 1, right? I guess 1. Okay, then you roll 1 die. 7. Whoops. 7. Okay. Roll 1 die, and now I remember from Rivoli. Okay, roll 1 die and add the fire modifier. So 7 plus 1 is 8. If their final result is 10 or more, one company must be eliminated from the target hex. So 0 in this game, I believe, is 10. Yeah, 0 in this game is 10. So if I rolled a 9 or a 0, I would have gotten a 1 company hit. Now, again, is there anything different for artillery? I don't. Let's since it looks straightforward, now let's go to ricochet, see if that matters. All batteries must fire, all batteries may fire a round shot at any hex within their field of fire. Firing is resolved as usual, but there will be a ricochet effect unless there are at least 2 artillery companies in the target hex. I have no idea what that means, but okay. If there are at least 2 artillery companies in the target hex, there's not ricochet. Or the target hex is a town or woods. That makes sense. Or is 2 or more levels higher or lower than the fire's hex. That also makes sense. Ricochet fire must be carried out against any friendly or enemy-occupied hex which is beyond the original target hex. Unless on a different... Okay. That would be... You know, let's do that. Grab another target unit. Put it behind, right? Like that. So when the artillery fires like that, I guess this is the hex that's beyond, and see what that looks like. Then the field of fire lost to that second target hex must pass through the original target, but no blocking hexes may be traversed. Now I want to make sure that is, what is that terrain considered? That terrain is considered slope. I don't think slope by definition is automatically a different elevation, so I'll assume it's, for rules purposes, same elevation. But I'm not sure that this is going to use the same fire factor and fire defense of the new target, which would be all the same, but we're subtracting 3 from the fire modifier. That's why we can't get a result, because Artillery firing round shot may add +1 fire modifier for every 6 companies stacked. And okay, that's a density thing. Okay. I guess if I'm subtracting, by the way, can you ever have a negative fire modifier? Fire modifier. Huh. Can you have, I don't know, if you can have a negative fire modifier. Or is there some low, I don't know. You're going to modify the fire factor. That's not that unusual. Fire factor. How common is that? I don't know. Okay, but why is this? Well, trying to figure out how effective it is. Well, okay, I guess it's okay. All right. I'm thinking way too much in my head here. Okay. Artillery fire phase. Okay, so again, actually, I guess I can summarize it. Strength of the unit, easy in this case, it's 1 for the artillery, times the fire factor. That's easy. 1 times 6 is 6. That's the fire factor's firing. The defensive factor, you find it from the table by cross-referencing the unit type and formation with the terrain it occupies. So this is infantry in line and clear. So then you take the fire factor, divide by the defense factor, in this case 6 divided by 9. You double that. Yeah, you double that. You double that, drop fractions, and that is a die roll modifier. You roll 1 die, you add that modifier. Then basically 10 to 14. 10 to 14. Yeah. So 10 to 14 would cause 1 hit, 1 strength point hit. 15 to 19. Yeah, 15 to 19 would score 2 hits, etc., etc. Let's just say that unit did roll let's say they rolled a 10. Well, make it easy. 9 plus 1 is 10. That would be 1 hit. We would take a 1 hit marker. And put it under the target like that. I wonder if you automatically do a morale check. Oh, no. So there's a separate section on artillery fire, but that just tells you when you can perform artillery fire and what kind. So this is normal fire. During the artillery fire phase, phasing artillery units may change facing unless stacked with units other than unlimited artillery and skirmishing units, and or fire normally. Then you have a bunch of other options, and etc. Where are the results? Effects of combat on morale, removal of casualties. So let's continue on and say that they caused that hit. Let's see how that would be resolved. When a combat unit takes casualties, a numerical marker equal to the number of casualties suffered must be placed beneath its counter. When additional casualties are inflicted, you're going to adjust it for its total current losses. When the number of casualties equals or exceeds the original strength of the unit, it's permanently removed from the game. There is an exception. Okay. When a stack of units suffers, okay. When casualty, etc., etc. Both exceptions are okay, except okay. Effects of fire combat on morale. Effective cannon and musket fire may force affected units in the target hex to check morale. Which, by the way, if they caused a, since we already talked about it, since they caused a hit, I guess we flip over the ammunition marker for that. Yeah. Oh, may force. All right, let's figure out when units are forced to do this morale check. Units must check morale the instant they lose one or more companies due to enemy fire. See also 43. When one casualty is inflicted on a hex solely occupied by, oh, that's occupied by unlimited artillery. That's different. But with the following exceptions. Units with an actual strength of 7 to 12 companies. No, this has an actual strength of 4 or printed strength. Okay. So that makes those really heavy units stronger in morale. So there is a morale check. So let's look at morale checks. Okay, all about unit morale. All combat units have a morale value printed on the back of their counter. So I do believe it's the 15 there. Oh, wait. We want the target, 52. 52 there. Make sure, yeah, morale value. I don't know if low or high is good or bad. We'll find out. Morale check is a procedure used to find out whether a unit is able to keep its formation and move normally. Whenever the game rules require a unit to check its morale, like now, the owning player rolls 2 dice. So we're going to roll our percentile dice. 24. Let's see what 24 is. Okay, add any applicable modifiers from the morale table. There is a morale table. Okay, let's see what applies. Here's the morale table. Modifiers to all types of morale checks. Additional modifiers for attack and defense checks. No, it's not an attack and defense check. That's interesting. How would I know that it's not, though? All right, for terrain. What is an attack morale check and a defense morale check? All right. Remember that no modifiers apply to an original dice roll of 1 in 100. Huh. Why? A lot of questions. Okay. Square or town, retreating, casualties in excess of 50%. Unit with non-retreating enemy unit on its flank or rear. Unit has no enemy units within 15 hexes. Unit has no enemy units within 15 hexes. Okay. I guess that's for morale checks other than fire combat. Unit tactically led by leader. Unit in morale level 1, morale level 2. I wonder what those are. Morale level 1 and 2. I have no idea what that's. Army reserve, committed reserve. Okay, I guess none of these apply. So what do we do with 24? If the modified result is equal to or higher than the unit's morale value, the check is considered successful. So we had to get equal to or higher than 52, and the unit is unaffected. The unit is said to be in good order status. So you want a low number. If the modified result is less than the unit's morale value, the unit has failed the check and must immediately carry out a retreat move. Wow. That's interesting. The unit may be accompanied by any leader. All retreats must be done in disorder. So, retreat in disorder. Oh. So this is what I was looking for. There are side-specific retreat or disorder markers. So here's the French side. Here's the French marker. We want the Allied marker. So So I guess we put them on like that. Okay, I was mentioning before about different types of morale checks. It's actually a nice, very clear rules section, I should say. And in every case, I should try to point these things out. It's very clear. It breaks down normal morale checks, attack morale checks, and defense morale checks, and when you do them. So no issues there. It also has retreat and disorder section. After failing a morale check, a unit must immediately carry out a retreat move in disorder. So I put the marker on there. They're in disorder. The unit will retreat 3 hexes or 6 hexes. Okay, if it's a cavalry unit. So I guess he would go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So what is that up there? I assume that's just... well, that's broken ground. Okay, so does that matter? They retreated up a slope and into broken ground. Unfavorable result in a melee or a square foot. No. So use an appropriate RD marker. That's the RD marker. Each nationality has different markers for horse and foot units. A unit must retreat in disorder. We'll do so as soon as it suffers that result. We did that. Oh. Yeah, at the end of round. Okay. Okay. A unit may lose additional casualties when retreating in disorder. Does that apply here? I don't. Okay, additional losses in retreat. Okay, that's for retreating through enemy-controlled hexes. Completely surrounded by enemy or impassable terrain. Okay, disbandment and pursued by charging cavalry. Okay, that's what they mean by additional losses. Not additional losses for just going into rough terrain. So, the unlimited... Okay, so... Okay, so that's all straightforward. I think the last thing is, okay, that's infantry. They were in line. I doubt they're in line anymore, right? So what are they in? Are they in... Infantry units may be in column, march column, line, square, or skirmish. What are they in now? Okay, well, I guess where's line? There's line. A unit formed in line, single hex. Units in line may have their flanks supported. It's all good stuff. I don't see anything else. Non-retreating combat units. Okay, so I think because they have the retreat marker on them, I'm going to go ahead and assume that they don't have a formation now. It seems like a fair assumption. Okay. Artillery fire, taking a loss, and failing a morale check, retreating, and that's the start of the French player turn.